Morning ladies and gentlemen. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check some of the specifications on the pistons and on the gudgeon pins. So what I've done is I've removed a piston from the end of the conrod. That's the piston there. This is the gudgeon pin, and here I've got a digital micrometer. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to power that on, and I'm going to just zero it and set it to millimeters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the thickness of the gudgeon pin. So it's come out as 17 or about 16.99 millimeters. And if we look in the Haynes manual, the Haynes manual tells us piston pin, outside diameter, standard 16.994 to 17 mil. So that one is absolutely spot on. Also, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to check the other end of it as well. And we've got 16.99 again, so that's spot on, so I'll put that to one side. Again, I'm going to zero the meter, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the thickness of this piston. And you're supposed to measure it 18 mil from the edge of the skirt, which is basically about there. I'm going to put the measure on the flat slide there to make sure that it's straight and it's parallel. Then I'm going to press that tight onto there, and we've got 16.96, around about 16.95. If you move it around a bit, it kind of changes the measurement slightly, but sorry, I said 16, I meant to say 71, 71.9, thereabouts. Right, so if we look at the Haynes manual, pistons outside diameter, standard 71.975 to 72.003, excuse me, to 71.9 is the service limit. So it's within the service limit. It is a little bit worn, but it is within the limit, so that's okay. So that's basically a pass. That incidentally is the ring that secures the piston pin in the piston. So I'm putting those three to that side, and then what we'll do is we'll just power that off, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to remove the piston ring, sorry, not the ring, the pin ring that secures the pin. So just get the needle nose pliers. There's a little slot in there, you can put them in and just carefully pull that out. There we go, that's that out. Okay, and then what we do is we just we can leave the other ring in the other end and just push the pin through. So initially you can just push it through with your finger like that, and then I'm going to use a screwdriver to push it a bit further. Oops, and there we go. It's come most of the way through, so that's now separated from the conrods. And then I'm going to get hold of that with the pliers and pull that out. So that's that piston pin. So I'm going to power that back on, and then I'm going to bite that with the calipers. And again, we've got 16.99, so that's fine. And then we've got 16.99 again, so that one's also a pass. Okay, then I'm going to zero it again. Right, and then I'm going to measure that like that. And again, we've got 71.96 in that case, so that's well within the service limit. So both of those pistons and piston rings have passed the test, so that's all good. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reassemble them, and then we're going to start on that one. Okay, so it goes back on like that. Wait a minute, I've got that all the way around. That's like that. That goes in. That goes in there. Okay, and then the ring just goes back in. Squeeze that so it will go back in. a bit fiddly. Push that in the screwdriver. There we go. Right, so that's the piston pin back in. That's all fine, and then we're just going to do the same thing with the other end. So that goes on like that. And the piston pin goes through. Yeah. Okay, and then get this ring again. Actually, the proper name for this is actually a circlip, now I think about it. So put the circlip back in, just tease it in with a screwdriver. It's a wee bit awkward, but it should go. The other one went. Okay, that's one end in, and there's the other end. Okay, so that's all that back together again. So those are tested and those are passed. Excuse me. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with these. So, okay, so that's that ring out. Circlip, and just push the piston pin through. Okay, and then we'll just power this back on again. Just bite that. We've gone about 16.77. 17.04 on that end. Okay, so the ends are a bit different, but it's still within the service limits, so should be okay. Just power it back on, zero it, and we'll just measure the piston. Piston's 71.91, so again that's within service limits, so that one's okay. So I'll put that back on. There's a little bit of grit in there, but just get rid of that. So that goes back on like that. Piston ring, piston pin through. Okay, and then squeeze that and put that back in. There you go, that's that back in. It's all good. Okay. Same thing with this one. Okay. Pull that out, push the piston pin through a bit. Screwdriver with the pliers. There we go. Right. And again, just make sure there's a zeroed. Just bite that. 16.99. Perfect. 16.65. That one's a little bit on the low side. Let's see, service limit. 16.98. It's pretty close. So I think we'll just say that's a pass. As it's okay at one end anyway, so I don't know if it's maybe 0.77. The other problem is that if you get it slightly wrong angle, you get a slightly wrong reading, so you have to be careful about the angle. So that's 16.98, so that's spot on. Let's test the other end like that. 16.99, so I think I maybe just had it a slightly wrong angle. which is why I was getting a wrong reading. So we'll pass that. Again, we'll zero again, and then we'll measure this piston. 71.91. Again, that's within the service limits, that's a pass. So all that remains to be done now, notice there's a wee bit of dirt inside that piston as well, is just reassemble this one. Keep getting these the wrong way around. This goes through the top of the con rod. Then we've got this piston circlip. Let's put that in. There we go, that's that circlip in. That's all fine. So that's all the pistons and the piston rings checked and all of it. So that's great. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later.